Most people think that the voice in their mind is them, but that voice in your mind isn't your awareness. It's just your conditioning talking. If your thoughts ever feel too loud, too constant, or like they're not even yours, there's a reason for that. I spent years thinking that my thoughts were me, until something happened that showed the complete opposite. So let's talk about what that voice actually is. Part of the thoughts in your head is a purely survival type mechanism that is naturally built into the system. It's your fight or flight mode. It's your survival mind. It's your mind reacting to situations that it's potentially seeing as a threat or danger. This is not your awareness. This is not who you are. Another part of your mind is your memory. Memory is built on accumulations of past events, and people constantly make the mistake of identifying with those past events. You are under no obligation to be the person that you was 5 minutes ago, let alone 10 years ago. Clinging on to past identities or past experiences will just create fear. It will just create anxiety. Being who you think you should be based on your past experiences is not what true authenticity is all about. Once you identify yourself with your past, that's when you create expectation for the future. You should be a certain way because of your past events. But that again is not who you are. It's not your true authentic self. Just as you have no obligation to be who you were, you also have no obligation to expect to be someone. This is why it's so important to stay in the moment and focus only and purely on the moment. Of course, when we have conversations, we need reference points, we need data. That's what our mind has done. It has accumulated data over the years, over time. So you can refer back to your memories, but don't identify with those memories. Too many people are living in the past and anxious about the future because they're not in the present moment. I currently have friends that I've known over 20 years that have been friends with me most of my life that say to me to this day, I don't know who you are, or they seem shocked if I react in a way that I didn't react like 20 years ago. They seem shocked if I'm anything but how they remembered me when I was in school. But the point that I'm trying to make is that your memories, your accumulations, your identity of who you think you are, your expectations, or even your survival mind, none of those are who you are. Your thoughts might be speaking, but your awareness is the one hearing. It's like the voice in your head is an echo, but you are the one who's listening. And here's the part that most people never realize. I previously spoke about an experience that I had where I was in sleep paralysis and I was about to separate my awareness from my physical body. And this voice, this loud voice, almost demonic voice, shouted, "Stop." Now, that's when fear arised. I quickly realised when I woke up that I don't have to identify myself with that voice. That voice to me was my subconscious mind, fearful of what was about to take place and what was about to happen. And it was telling me to stop. Again, this is the survival mind. This was not some demon that was trying to stop me from coming out my body. This was myself, afraid of the expansion that was about to take place. When you identify yourselves with your thoughts and this voice and this chatter, you place yourself inside of a prison. You are now controlled by your thoughts. You now cannot be your true self because your thoughts run your life. I have it so many times happen to me, even before bed, just before sleep. It's the worst time for me. My mind runs on overdrive. There's so many thoughts, so many things that I think about, so many things in the past, so many things that happen in the present, so many things that are going to happen in the future. Random images, scary images, weird, strange images that appear visually, strange and weird thoughts that appear out of nowhere. But what I've learned is when you actually observe them, it's all just noise. None of it is actually you. It's not you. And people really do make the mistake of identifying with these thoughts, with this voice, with this inner voice that isn't them. It's okay to have weird and strange visuals. It's okay to have weird and strange thoughts, even bad thoughts. It's okay. It happens. It's natural. It's human. It's years of your built up subconscious that's just throwing noise at you, throwing noise in your mind. The difference is whether you identify with them or not. And if you can learn how to compartmentalize your thoughts, your life will change. This is what I've learned to do. No matter what thoughts come into my mind, because you can't stop them, it's natural. I take the ones that resonate. I take the ones that I know to be true and I feel, and the ones that I align with most. Those are the ones that I keep and I identify with. The rest, I put them into a box and put them to the side. I don't identify with that box. That's just my mind's chatter. That's normal. That's natural. And it's okay what goes into that box, because anything can be in that box. Anything can be said. Any image can come up. Anything can go into that box. But that is not me, and I don't identify with that. So that's when I push that to the side. And I really want to urge people to start trying to do this. It's a type of meditation, but it works. Over time, over days, weeks, and months of practice, this will become the new you. You will start aligning with your true self in this way, because you are listening to your intuition and what you actually align with, and you will push aside the thoughts that you don't identify with. It's important to know that you don't have to react to these thoughts. You don't have to think, oh, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's awful. I shouldn't have thought of that. There should be no reaction. Your mind will create all sorts of thoughts. It literally has your whole life's worth of accumulations from anything you've watched, anyone you've spoke to, all of your memories, anything you've listened to. All of that is in your subconscious. So anything from what you've learned, heard, saw, that can all come out, and it can come out in distorted ways as well. The main thing is not to identify with them, because all this really is your mind trying to protect your identity. The identity that you have created, or the identity that your mind has created for itself, the identity that you believe you are because your thoughts are in control, that is the same identity that these thoughts are trying to protect. But I want you to know that your mind isn't trying to ruin your life. It's just trying to protect the identity that it knows. There was a day that I realized something very strange. I was thinking, and then I become aware that I was thinking. And then I become aware that I wasn't the one thinking. My experience that I spoke about many times when I was 21 years old, when I became aware of my infinite nature, my expanded infinite awareness, that completely dissolved my identity. When I was aware of that infinite dimension of me, I had thoughts, but I knew they wasn't me. I saw them as something separate. I saw them as noise. I became the observer. I became the observer of not just my surroundings, but of my thoughts. It was almost like they couldn't follow me into that dimension. I was able to go in and out of this experience, in and out of this dimension. And when I was out of it and I was walking around and I was aware of my surroundings more, I had thoughts and it was like they were me. But as soon as I went into that dimension again, the thoughts didn't come with me. It was more of my true presence. I was asking questions in that dimension. I was getting instant answers back, but my thoughts wasn't there. It was just like instant downloads, instant questions, instant answers, and nothing else. But what was really interesting was whether it was inside the dimension or outside the dimension, my awareness was always present. It was the only thing that was always present. The observer in me was always there. And that's when I realized this voice, this inner voice that we have in our minds, it's just temporary. It's just noise. It's not us. It's not who we are. We're the observer. And the thoughts are a product of our mind trying to protect our identity. And the same thing kind of happened when I was about to separate my awareness from my body in sleep paralysis when I heard the voice. I literally thought I was dying or I was about to die. But the second that I surrendered and this voice never came up and I felt a peeling effect of my awareness from my body, that was only possible because I quieted my thoughts, because I surrendered in that moment. The surrender of me not listening to my thoughts and just relaxing and surrendering allowed the shift. It allowed me to separate from my body. And that was just another moment that solidified for me that we are not our thoughts. And to expand, to experience expansion beyond the physical can only be possible by surrendering, and can only be possible really by not identifying with your thoughts. You need to know that you are infinite. You need to believe it. You need to trust it. You need to know that you are separate from your mind and body. I don't want you to think that, again, you lose your individuality when you separate. You don't. You keep your memories. Your memories are there, but your thoughts are not you. You are the observer, and thought forms are separate. But the purpose of this video is just to make you realize that the human thoughts that have accumulated over time are not who you are, and you don't need to identify with them. These moments here showed me the truth. Awareness continues even when the voice inside dissolves. And once you see this inner voice, these human thoughts for what they are, everything will change. It's really important for you to know kind of how to tackle this. What I call meditation of compartmentalizing the thoughts is an amazing exercise. And I do urge everyone to do this. But there's also some points as well that you need to know that are just as important. I talk about surrender a lot, and it's the same with your thoughts. Don't battle with your thoughts. Don't fight them. Allow your thoughts to happen. They will always happen naturally. You don't need to quiet them. Just allow them. Don't cling to them. Don't attach to them. Just allow them. All you have to do is observe them. You are the observer. You are the awareness behind the thoughts. Just watch them. Let them pass. Your awareness will start to grow around the thoughts. So it won't be the thoughts that are in control anymore. And you will start gaining back more of your power, more of your true self. And as you start doing that, your inner voice will lose its power and your true self will gain its power. And this is the trick. This is how you start to become more of yourself. So you don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop believing that every thought is you. So if you're not the voice, if you're not the thoughts, then what are you? Like I said, you are the observer. You are the awareness behind those thoughts. You are the awareness in and around those thoughts. You are older than language. You are older than identity. Awareness has existed since the beginning of time, if there is such a thing. The mind came after. Thoughts came after that. Awareness has always been, always will be, and always is. It's the real you. It's who you are. And before your first thought ever arised, you existed. You were aware. And you'll also be aware after your last one. If you look at babies now or children that haven't yet learned how to speak, how to talk, they don't identify. They don't label anything. They haven't got words for anything. So their inner chatter won't be a thought that they can identify with. They will have inner chatter, but it won't be what we have as adults. And I've said before, and I'll say again, the baby and the child, they are the closest thing to a soul. They are the purest form of human. They, unknowingly, live as the observer. And living as the observer doesn't mean escaping life. It means finally experiencing it. To experience life, you need to feel. It's all about feeling. It's all about living and being present, feeling the body, feeling the sensations, noticing the breath, feeling the breath, observing the space between your thoughts. All of these little things that ground you and keep you present, like becoming aware that you aren't your thoughts, like accepting fear and surrendering and not controlling your life, like living in the moment and actually listening to sounds and actually seeing the world and actually tasting food and actually smelling the air. All of these things are what keep you present and allow your true self to experience life, which is why it's here in the first place. Once you start doing all these things that I've mentioned, and I will be mentioning, awareness will become your home. It will become your foundation. It will become your base. You will start to become your true self. This is my goal now. It's not just to tell everyone to be yourself. I want to make this content and I want to make these videos and I want to teach you how I've become my true self or how I'm becoming my true self. I want to tell everyone how I'm doing it so you can do it. I'm not any different to anyone else. I'm not higher or lower than anyone else. I'm just me. I'm an average guy. I work hard. I love my family. I look after my family. But I've been curious. I've explored. I've experienced. I've wanted to know deeper what life is. I've wanted to know deeper what the truth is. And because of my determination, I've started realizing the mechanics behind reality. And now I feel like this is something I want to share, like I need to share with everyone because it's helped me massively. I understand life. I love life more than ever. I can't wait to experience life more than ever. And I just want to gift that to everyone else. When your awareness becomes your foundation, your thoughts lose authority. They are no longer in control of you and you'll be free. You'll be free to be your true self. And when you stop merging with your voice, peace won't be something that you have to achieve. It's something that will just unfold. It's something that will appear. We're all the same. We're all on this journey together in our own ways. There's no someone's in front and someone's behind or someone's above and someone's below. We are all on this infinite journey forever in our own unique way. And I need you to know that you're not broken. You're just on your journey or on your way or on your path to remembering who you are before you allowed your mind to take over. And the more you live from awareness, instead of listening to your inner voice and living from your thoughts, the quieter that inner voice and your thoughts will become. And if you want deeper guidance on OBEs, awareness, fear, dreams, the private group and the guide below, only join if it genuinely feels right. Thank you to everyone and thanks for watching.